The galaxy was alive with light and motion. Millions of star systems, countless civilizations and endless fleets filled the void. Yet, at the far edge of explored space, a strange quiet persisted. This corner of the galaxy had long been ignored, avoided by explorers and traders alike. Humans lived here quietly, almost unseen, but not unnoticed. For years, rumors had circulated. Stories of human ships so powerful that entire fleets could be destroyed before a battle even began. Tales of humans observing the galaxy silently, calculating everything, and acting only when necessary. Most dismissed these as exaggerations. Some feared them quietly. But now the truth was about to reveal itself. On a small observation outpost near the border of human space, alien scientists monitored signals from deep space. A sudden reading caught their attention. A massive, structured energy pulse unlike anything they had ever seen. Its rhythm was precise, deliberate, almost alive. The scientists exchanged anxious glances. "What is that?" whispered one Vrylan researcher. His elongated fingers shook slightly as he adjusted the instruments. "It is unlike anything in our database." The pulse grew stronger by the hour. Its source was unmistakable, a human warship, enormous and powerful, moving with intent. Every signal it emitted carried authority. This was no mere ship, it was a warning. Commander Larek, a seasoned Vrylan pilot, was summoned to lead a scouting mission. His fleet consisted of 5 sleek, fast ships, designed for observation and stealth rather than combat. Yet even these experienced pilots felt unease as they prepared to enter human space. "We are not prepared for what we might find," Larek admitted quietly to his squad. "Proceed carefully. One wrong move and we may never return." The squadron moved into the unknown region. Stars stretched endlessly around them, distant suns casting pale light on their hulls. As they drew nearer, the energy signature of the human warship became overwhelming. Shields, weapons, engines, all radiated power far beyond anything the aliens had encountered. Then the ship appeared. Even from a distance it was breathtaking and terrifying. Towering turrets lined its deck, massive energy conduits glowed, and shimmering shields surrounded it like an invisible fortress. The ship moved with a grace and purpose that made the alien sensors struggle to keep up. "It's alive," muttered one pilot, eyes wide. "It's like it knows we're here." Larek felt it too. The ship was not attacking, yet every movement of the squadron seemed anticipated. Every adjustment, every hesitation, every attempt to stay hidden was noted, without a shot fired. The warship radiated authority. Its presence alone conveyed a single, undeniable message: do not challenge us. The squadron began to scan the ship, trying to gather data. Its technology was unlike anything in their knowledge. Energy shields pulsed in patterns no one could understand. Weapons bristled along the hull, ready but calm. Engines emitted controlled energy flows that suggested speed and maneuverability beyond imagination. Then the humans acted, not with violence but with subtle control. One alien ship drifted slightly too close, and an invisible force nudged it back. Systems flickered. Alarms rang. The ship was not attacking, yet the message was clear: stay back. Pull back. Larek shouted. His voice was tense, adrenaline pumping. Slowly. Everyone slowly. The squadron retreated, but even in their flight, the human warship seemed to glide effortlessly, observing and correcting their escape path. It was a demonstration of power without aggression, a warning delivered silently. Back at the outpost, the pilots reported everything. Larek spoke, voice heavy with awe and fear. "It is not just a ship. It is the humans themselves. Precision, patience, intelligence, all combined. One glance is enough to understand, they are unmatched. Challenge them and you do not survive." The galaxy, though far away, would soon hear the story. Traders, explorers, and warlords alike would whisper of the human warship. Stories of its power spread faster than light, turning humans from a distant curiosity into a force that demanded respect and fear. Meanwhile, humans watched silently. They did not need to strike. They did not need to shout. Their presence, their vigilance, and their calm authority were enough. The message had been delivered. Curiosity has a price. Arrogance has a cost. And humanity waits patiently for the next lesson. The first contact had been made, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The return of the alien scouts sent shockwaves across the galaxy. Reports of the human warship's size, power, and control spread quickly through interstellar communication channels. Every species that received the news felt a mix of fear and awe. What had once been rumors was now undeniable fact. Humans were unmatched and dangerous. On a distant world, the leaders of the most powerful civilizations gathered in a floating council chamber above a glowing gas planet. Representatives of the Vrylan, Garathi, Lunari, and other civilizations filled the space, each tense and uneasy. The reports had changed everything. Elder Erica of the Vrylan spoke first, her calm voice carrying weight across the chamber. Our scouts have seen humans up close. Their warship is not just large. It is precise, intelligent, and entirely in control of the situation. Any fleet that underestimates them will fail. Murmurs ran through the chamber. Some species whispered doubts. Others showed fear openly. Pride and arrogance were fading in the face of the truth. Lord Tharn of the Garathi slammed his clawed hand on the table. One ship cannot be so powerful. We have fleets, weapons, and strategy. Surely we can fight them. Erica shook her head slowly. You do not understand. It is not just the ship. It is the humans themselves. Every move they make is calculated. They are patient, intelligent, and capable of defeating any intruder before you even realize you are under threat. Attack them and you will not survive. The chamber fell silent. For the first time, the leaders of the galaxy shared a single fear. Humans were beyond comparison. A young Lunari leader spoke cautiously. Can diplomacy work? Can we send a message or negotiate? Erica's eyes narrowed. Perhaps. But humans do not respond to weakness. They wait. They observe. The first warning has already been given. Our scouts returned alive, but the message was clear. Curiosity, pride, or aggression near human space carries a cost. Outside the chamber, the message spread quickly. Traders altered routes. Explorers turned back from previously mapped sectors. Even warlords reconsidered expansion plans. Humans had demonstrated a silent, controlled authority that no species could ignore. In human space, the warship glided calmly. Smaller human vessels moved in formation. Cities on nearby planets glimmered softly. Humans did not celebrate or boast. Their purpose was simple: observe, maintain control, and ensure the galaxy understood their warning. Back in the council, Erica concluded her speech. The humans are not merely another species. They are a standard, a force, and a presence that cannot be ignored. Every civilization must heed the warning we have received. A few voices whispered rebellion. Perhaps we can challenge them. Perhaps we can find a weakness. But the wisdom of the scouts' first-hand experience kept most in check. Those who had seen the warship knew better. They had felt the silent, absolute power it projected. Across the stars, humans continued their patient watch. Every fleet, every civilization had learned the first lesson. To challenge humanity without understanding their strength is to invite destruction. The galaxy was no longer the same. Pride had limits. Ambition had boundaries. And humans waited, calm and unshakable, ready to teach the next lesson to anyone daring enough to ignore the warning. A small alien squadron prepared to enter human space once again. Their mission was clear: observe the human warship up close, gather data, and return alive. Yet even the most experienced pilots felt unease deep in their bones. The reports from the first scouts were chilling, but now they would see humanity's power firsthand. Commander Larek, the Vrylan leader, addressed his team. Remember, this is observation, not combat. Stay calm. Stay sharp. Humans are intelligent, and one mistake could end everything. The squadron slipped silently through the void, their hulls reflecting the dim light of distant stars. As they drew closer to the energy signature, alarms went off on their ships. The warship's shields pulsed in ways their instruments could barely track. Every reading screamed power beyond comprehension. Then it appeared. The human warship floated in space like a silent god. Its massive hull gleamed with energy channels that ran like rivers of light. Towering turrets bristled along its deck, and shields shimmered like a translucent fortress. Even from a distance, the aliens could feel its authority. One pilot whispered almost in awe, "It's alive." The warship moved with perfect precision, gliding through space as if it owned the void. Humans did not attack. They did not shout. They simply observed, calculating every motion of the approaching squadron. Every adjustment, every evasive maneuver by the aliens was anticipated. Larek signaled his fleet to begin scanning. Sensors tried to record the ship's systems, but nothing matched any known technology. The shields pulsed in patterns no alien had seen before. Energy weapons lined the ship's sides, ready but calm. Engines emitted controlled bursts of light that promised speed and maneuverability beyond imagination. Suddenly, a small misstep. One alien ship drifted too close. Without warning, the warship activated a subtle energy pulse, not to destroy but to warn. The ship's invisible force nudged the intruder back, systems flickering, alarms blaring. No weapons fired. No explosions occurred. Yet the point was clear: stay away. Pull back. Larek shouted. Slowly, carefully, everyone. The squadron retreated, but even in flight, the human warship adjusted its position, subtly controlling the space around them. It was not aggression. It was a lesson in authority and control. Back at their base, the alien pilots reported every detail. Larek spoke, voice heavy with awe and fear. It is not just the ship, it is the humans themselves. Precision, patience, intelligence, unmatched. One glance is enough to know they are not to be tested. Across the galaxy, the story of the observation mission spread quickly. Humans were no longer a mysterious species. They were a force that could not be ignored. Traders altered routes. Explorers turned back. Even warlords abandoned ambitious plans. Humans had become the standard by which all other species measured themselves. Meanwhile, humans continued their silent vigil. They did not celebrate. They did not need to. The galaxy had already received the first lesson. The aliens had seen the warship, felt its authority, and understood curiosity near humanity had a price. The observation mission had returned alive, but every pilot knew that the warship's calm, precise power was only the beginning. The galaxy had witnessed a force unlike any other. And humans continued to watch, patient, intelligent, and unstoppable. The aliens who had witnessed the human warship returned to their home systems with trembling hands and pale faces. Their reports spread quickly, leaving no civilization untouched. Every leader, trader, and explorer heard the same message: humans were not to be challenged. In the council chamber of the Vrylin, discussions were tense. Elder Erica addressed the gathering, her voice steady but grave. Our scouts have seen the humans. Their warship is more than just a weapon. It is intelligence, control, and patience made real. We must respect their space or suffer consequences. Some leaders whispered doubts. One ship cannot be that powerful, a Garathi elder said. We could fight them if we united our fleets. Erica shook her head. You do not understand. They do not need to fight. They do not act recklessly. Their patience alone is enough to ensure victory. Every move we make is already anticipated. Pride will bring ruin. Meanwhile, in human space, the warship glided silently. Smaller vessels patrolled in formation, scanning the void for intruders. Energy fields rippled across the borders of human-controlled space, subtle but unmistakable. They were warnings, not attacks, lessons delivered without a single shot fired. Alien scouts who strayed too close reported strange experiences. Systems malfunctioned. Engines faltered. Instruments went dark. No violence occurred, yet the message was clear. Any intrusion, however small, would not go unnoticed. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. Traders changed routes. Explorers abandoned mapped sectors near human space. Even ambitious warlords reconsidered their plans for expansion. Humans had achieved something no other species had: control through presence and subtle authority. In the council chamber, Erica concluded, humans are not merely another species. They are a standard, a force, a presence that cannot be ignored. Every civilization must heed this warning. Some voices in the council still dared to question, softly. Could there be a weakness? One young leader murmured. But the stories of those who had seen the human warship firsthand silenced most doubts. The invisible authority, the precision, the patience, they knew humans could wait centuries to act, if needed. The warship itself remained calm. Humans did not celebrate or boast. They did not even communicate with the alien civilizations. Their warning was subtle, complete, and unmistakable. It was a demonstration of power without chaos, a message delivered through presence alone. Curiosity, pride, and aggression carry a cost. Across the galaxy, fear mingled with awe. No species could ignore humans any longer. The silent warning was more powerful than any attack. Aliens understood that patience, intelligence, and control could be more dangerous than fleets or weapons. And in the quiet of space, humans continued to watch. Calm, patient, and unshakable, they waited. The galaxy had received the warning, and now every civilization knew. One wrong move near human space could mean total destruction. Despite the clear warnings, a bold faction of the Garathi decided to challenge humanity. Pride and ambition clouded their judgment. They believed numbers and weapons alone could overpower a single human warship. They were wrong. Commander Vor, a massive and confident Garathi leader, addressed his fleet. We cannot live in fear forever. Humans may have one warship, but we have fleets. Tonight we strike. We will show them that arrogance has limits. The fleet moved swiftly through space, engines glowing brightly. Every ship was armed, every weapon ready. They believed this would be a simple victory, a show of power against a supposedly isolated human ship. Meanwhile, the human warship observed calmly. Its massive hull gleamed with energy. Turrets aligned silently, shields pulsed with precision, and smaller human vessels maintained perfect formation around it. Humans did not panic. They did not rush. They did not act without purpose. As the Garathi fleet crossed into human space, alarms rang on their ships. Invisible energy pulses from the human warship disrupted engines and communications. Panic rippled through the alien formation. Ships drifted, collided, and struggled to respond. Commander Vor shouted in disbelief, "Impossible! One ship cannot do this." Then humans acted, not recklessly but precisely. Energy beams struck enemy engines, disabling ships without unnecessary destruction. Turrets fired only when required, and the warship's shields adjusted seamlessly to every threat. Within moments, the Garathi fleet was in chaos. "Retreat! Retreat now!" Vor screamed. But escape routes were blocked. Every maneuver was anticipated. Humans were not just fighting, they were teaching a lesson. By the end of the clash, only a few Garathi ships survived. They limped back to their homeworld, battered, humiliated, and terrified. The message was clear: never challenge humans. Across the galaxy, the news traveled faster than light. Alien civilizations realized humans were not merely advanced. They were untouchable, patient, and perfectly precise. Pride, curiosity, and aggression carried consequences no one could ignore. Meanwhile, the humans returned to their silent patrols. Cities on nearby planets glowed softly, smaller ships moved in formation, and the warship remained poised. No celebration was needed. The lesson had been delivered. Back on the Garathi homeworld, leaders whispered among themselves. Pride had been punished. Curiosity had been checked. Every species learned to respect humans not out of diplomacy but out of fear and awe. Humans continued their watch quietly, waiting patiently. The galaxy had witnessed their power firsthand. Any species daring enough to ignore the warnings would learn, inevitably and utterly, that human patience could be far more deadly than any fleet or weapon. The first clash had ended. The galaxy understood: humans did not merely defend, they dominated with intelligence, precision, and control. And any future challenge would carry the same unstoppable consequence. The aftermath of the Garathi attack spread fear across the galaxy. News of the failed assault reached distant worlds in hours. Every civilization realized that humans were not just advanced, they were unmatched and untouchable. Pride, ambition, and curiosity had a heavy cost. On the Garathi homeworld, Commander Vor faced the Council of Elders. Their once proud fleet was shattered. Only a few crippled ships returned. "We underestimated them," he admitted, his voice heavy with shame. "Their power, their patience, it is beyond anything we imagined. We cannot fight them. We cannot negotiate. We can only avoid them." Elder Tharn nodded slowly. "The price of arrogance has been paid," he said. "Let this lesson reach every species." Across the galaxy, other civilizations reassessed their strategies. Trade routes were rerouted. Explorers abandoned ambitious plans. Warlords shelved conquests. Humans had shown that strength was not measured by numbers or weapons alone. It was measured by intelligence, patience, and control. In human space, life continued quietly. The warship glided silently, smaller vessels patrolled in calm precision, and cities shone with steady light. Humans did not celebrate or boast. Their victory needed no announcement. The galaxy had already learned. Alien historians recorded the events carefully. Scholars analyzed the Garathi attack, noting the precision and efficiency of the human response. "They are not merely advanced," one elder wrote. "They are untouchable. They do not need to fight recklessly. Their patience alone ensures victory. Any intrusion is already doomed." Even those who had never seen the human warship felt its presence through stories. Traders, explorers, and fleets spoke of the humans with reverence and fear. Pride had been punished. Curiosity had been tempered. Ambition had learned limits. Yet, in the farthest reaches of the galaxy, a few whispers of defiance remained. Can humans be challenged? Some dared to ask quietly. But caution tempered even curiosity. Those who had witnessed the warship knew better. The humans' silent power, their unmatched control, and their patience could wait centuries to act if needed. Humans continued their quiet vigilance. Fleets moved with calm efficiency, cities expanded steadily, and the warship remained poised in the void. They did not announce their presence, but every civilization had learned. To challenge humanity was to invite destruction. The Garathi lesson was clear. Arrogance carried a heavy cost. The galaxy felt it deeply. Pride had limits. Curiosity had consequences. And humans remained patient, silent, and unstoppable, a force that every species would respect and fear. The message echoed across the stars. One misstep near human space could be the last mistake any species ever made. The galaxy had learned the price of arrogance. And humanity, calm and eternal, continued to watch, waiting for the next lesson to teach. The galaxy had changed forever. News of the human warship, its silent authority, and the decisive defeat of the Garathi fleet spread to every corner of space. Stories of humanity's precision, intelligence, and unmatched power became legend. No civilization could ignore them. In distant worlds, scholars recorded every detail. Students, leaders, and commanders studied the battle, the subtle warning, and the first clash. Humans are not merely advanced, one elder said. They are untouchable. Patience, strategy, and control make them a force unlike any other. One misstep can destroy entire fleets. Alien leaders, once proud and ambitious, now spoke cautiously. Trade routes avoided human space. Explorers returned home rather than risk intrusion. Warlords abandoned conquest. The galaxy had learned humility. Pride had been punished. Curiosity had been restrained. Ambition had boundaries. Meanwhile, humans remained calm. Their massive warship glided silently through the void. Smaller vessels patrolled in perfect formation. Cities on nearby planets glowed softly, alive but serene. Humans did not celebrate their dominance. They did not boast. Their presence alone conveyed authority. Across the galaxy, whispers persisted. Could humans be challenged? Is there a weakness? But those who had seen the warship knew the answer. Humans did not act recklessly. They waited, observed, and struck only when necessary. Their patience could span decades, even centuries. Any challenge would be met with certainty and precision. The human warship remained a silent sentinel, a symbol of calculated power. It was a reminder to every species: arrogance comes with a price, and some forces in the universe cannot be contested. Humans had achieved what no other civilization had. They became a standard of strength and patience, feared and respected by all. Legends of the first clash, the subtle warning, and the Garathi defeat spread from star system to star system. Stories told of calm control, precise strikes, and quiet dominance. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humans were untouchable, unstoppable, and eternal. In the quiet darkness of space, humans watched. Patient, intelligent, and vigilant. Their victories were silent, their influence far.